Rajesh, when you said wholesalers don't add value. You know, the ability to hold product, aggregate, and then make it available, and even finance that operation is a huge value. That's how markets function. So anyway, let me ask the next question. Who does the policy benefit? The manner in which the policy is outlined is itself a dead giveaway. Because the policy makers are well aware of the pitfalls. They have declared that this is a policy to support big capital and the predatory multinationals in retail. Policy states the government, you just have to see it, it's there in front of all of us. The government is not concerned about the interests of small and medium businesses in the millions that will be adversely affected. They say $100 million is the minimum investment. $100 million, 500 crores. By definition, only the big guys can play in this. It's almost like, now I'm speculating, and I will say it, although it's a private but public forum. It's almost as if some of these guys sat with the ministries, the lobbies, sat with them and wrote the policy. That's how these policies get done. In reality, what is 100 million? Actually, they'll invest, the big guys will invest billions. And they've done that in other countries. So I'm not saying something that they're going to do, especially in India, particularly when they think there's a big opportunity. The small Indian, when you are coming here and I keep investing and investing billions of dollars, you decide whether they are going to, the local guy has a chance or not. You know, there's another interesting fact about this market, about retail, and why it is different from, let's say, opening up automobiles or telecom or whatever else. The retail market, the FDI will come in to displace an existing player. It is a game of displacement. It is not a game of accretion. Because this 500 billion, 600 billion, whatever numbers, these are Birbal's numbers. Whatever the number is, that market is there. The retail structure is happening. It is being served. Only it is not being served as it is being served in the West or elsewhere. But we have created our own indigenous ecosystem in retail. I'm not standing here arguing that this is perfect. No. If there are issues, let's address it as a country, let's fix it, we need to do it. There are lots of ways we can improve efficiency. If FDI the answer is what we are debating here. The second thing is, policy says 50% investment in back-end infrastructure. So this is all geared towards, agricultural produce and this, that and the other. Wastage should be reduced. Of course it should be reduced. But as Rajesh pointed out, this is about all kinds of products and services. It's not just about agriculture. Everything that we buy and use is open for retail, for foreign investment. So it's not just agriculture. So what is the back-end infrastructure that a toy company will build? I don't know. Maybe they will. Cold chain is only in the context of food. The foreign retailer is very happy. Anyway, they have to invest in infrastructure. How will they work without investing in infrastructure? What sort of a constraint is this? They'll set up their own warehouses, they'll set up their own fleet of trucks. You know, there's a side issue, not a core issue. Just the trucking industry in India, LCVs and small truck operators who service the movement of goods and services, lakhs of them are under threat and they don't even know it. To the extent that big retailers take over the trade, those services will be rendered surplus. Policy recommendation says 30% procurement from small industry, small and medium industry. Oh, this Ministry of Labour fellows, they put the stipulation, let's plaque it, give them 30%. Why 30%? Nobody knows. But there is a simple fact. How much is the quantity of merchandise being supplied by small and medium enterprises today? In my judgment, at least 60-70%. So you are not giving me a 30% reservation. You are taking away 30-40% of my market. One last point I'll make. All certificate, all compliance is supposed to be through self-certification. We are all businessmen. I'm not allowed to self-certify anything. So the foreign retailer can self-certify his performance. Couple of questions more. Why should we care about it? I think it's obvious in my statements. What should we do to address retail? Maybe that will come up in the Q&A. I will only say this. The retail sector is a fantastic safety valve in this country. We are 1.2 billion people, 400 million below poverty line, blah, blah, blah. Our country cannot be compared to any other country in the world. China is a different issue. If the question comes up, I'll address that. To me, you are discovering a very finely balanced equation. Let's be careful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shekhar. I'm tempted to say Savashtariya Bhuti. We can now take few questions since we are running out of time. Yeah.
So Shankar Swami had an advantage of speaking last. So he could destroy all the arguments of other two. You call it a FDI debate. I would be interested in now getting a rebuttal from Mr. Shekhar, Mr. Viswanathan and Mr. Rajesh. What do you say to all these arguments?
Thanks for opening up that window of opportunity. Like I ended my statement, anything is like, a knife. It's a question of whether you're giving it to a murderer or a surgeon. Now, Mr. Swami's perspective is the Walmarts of the world are murderers. Maybe they are. I don't know them personally. Yes, the fact remains that most large organizations always have two sides of the picture. On one side, they are great businesses. On the other side, they are supposed to be exploiting the environment. Take anybody. You take Shell Corporation. You take BP. They are supposed to be destroying the environment. Are we stopping to buy petrol? Just one or 2 points which I'd like to leave with you. Like I said, there are no black and white in any of these discussions. Automobiles, it's okay to allow FDI. What has happened in the last 10-15 years? I know for a fact my regular garage guy has had to shut down because of the Maruti service stations. And he has now gone to work in the Ford factory and he is working at a far lesser capacity because he has no formal qualification. Happen like, maybe that's what will happen. Kirana guys might have to give up and go and work in a Walmart store or a Toys R Us store. However, the fact remains that compared to a Kirana store where there is no continuity and possibly no safety net with regard to EPF and things like that, maybe these people will get that benefit. Point number one. The second point is, do we always have to look at all the implications when we are taking a call? Possibly yes, but again one more example. Say 20 odd years ago, thanks to Mr. Pitroda, we had this huge plethora of STD ISD booths. A lot of them run by physically challenged people, giving them livelihoods. So did we stop mobile phones, saying that, hey my God, mobile phones means all these guys are going to be driven out of business, they will die. So all I'm saying is, no debate. There are a lot of points that yes, what he says is very valid. Large businesses have obviously a very, very keen competitive spirit. You can look at it as competitive or you can look at it as predatory. In fact, as much as the good things, if you do a Walmart Google search, you come up with a huge number of sites by employees saying anti-Walmart and so on and so forth. Like I already said, retail is not about Walmart, point number one. Point number two, anything unregulated. So, anything unregulated, not managed, is bad. So, it's very basic. Thanks.
My question is, I would like the panelists to get back to position 87-88. During that time, Limca and Thumbs Up were doing 95% of the market share. But the entry of two products, Pepsi and Coke, with a small campaign of brominated vegetable oil. And now, they said that nothing is going to affect, but then the two products went out and then the two other products have come in. Is there going to be the same situation or some protection mechanism to come for the future?
Let me answer using the same example. Today, Coke and Pepsi are available in every nook and corner of the country where Limca was not even thought. Neither Limca nor Thumbs Up even dreamt of getting into that kind of interior space where every single plant is owned by an Indian, where Indians are working and Indians are supplying. What harm is there? If some brands die, some brands die. But Limca is not dead. Neither is Thumbs Up dead. In fact, because of these two, those who have grown bigger, their whole ad campaign is different. Although the owners are the same. Coke owns Thumbs Up, Pepsi owns Limca, God knows something. It's happening. Where you don't get water in certain places in the country, you get Coke or Pepsi. That is the kind of penetration you have. What is wrong about it? Is it coming from abroad? Every single thing is being made here. So what's the harm? And if Indians can displace Indians, that is all right. If foreigners displace Indians, we have a problem. This is evolution. He rightly pointed out. Mobiles came in, STDs vanished. It was an entirely Indian phenomenon.
Just to add on, I'm sure you are aware of this brand called Polymark. Right? Bovando. Right? It's pretty strong down south. And to actually address your question one-on-one, Thumbs Up is not dead. In fact, in Hyderabad, Thumbs Up is bigger than Coke or Pepsi. So, it is clearly a consumer preference. As a manufacturer or a brand owner or a retailer, if you have clearly connected well to your shopper or customer, you survive. If you don't, you die. And in that context, Walmart had to exit Germany because they were not able to,
including South
Korea,
in one day they exited from both the countries.
as long and also in Japan, because they were not able to connect to the local environment.
Well, Namaskar. I am Ramesh. But I have feel that left corner. Well, I have a feel that the environment as of now in the commercial arena is similar to what was prevailing in the 1800s, early 1800s in the political arena of India, whereby the East India Company guys were trying to make inroads, not just inroads, but invade the nook and corner of India. The same thing is likely to happen in the retail segment also. And I am aghast by the feeling that some of the so-called English-speaking, highly educated, professionally qualified people are all vouching for the so-called allowing of the FDI. In fact, there is a lot of psychology that has gone into the creation of this heading for this particular the food for thought meeting also. That is allowing FDI in multi-brand retail. That is, it has been subliminally embedded into the psyche that it is about allowing it.
Whereas I find that there's a blip of hope available in the form of Shekhar Swami, who is about strongly speaking about not allowing FDI to come into the multi-bank retail. And if that is the case, a small request to Mr. Swami is that is there any intention that he has got very strongly to take a sabbatical from his job and then join the Swadeshi Jagran Manch for some time? Do you have any plans?
Is this an invitation?
Yes.
I have no.
We need you, sir.
No, I have no intention to take a sabbatical. However, there is a ray of hope for me. I do a lot of moonlighting. So, all my work on this business has been done the weekends and nights and so forth. So people think, a lot of members of my family, many of whom are here, already think I'm crazy. So I have a high risk if I take a sabbatical. Thank you.
One question, please.
My question is addressed to Krishna. He said that in terms of 50 to 60 agriculture, 70 to 80 manufacturing, and 2000 service, is it a main problem which Shekhar Swami was pointing out, that we didn't have a proper leap from agriculture to manufacture to services, because still agriculture accounts for predominant share. The safety wall which he was talking about is because the manufacturing is also relatively on the highly skilled labor, and the service is mostly in IT. So should we need a very vibrant retail to provide the safety net? And that's the only question I had. But the second question, you were talking about political governments, but how long we can trust the corporates also in terms of training, in terms of retail? Your credence is also low in terms of.
See,
I'll answer this equally.
that gentleman. Indian retail, the kind of wisdom we have, is more than 10,000 years old. In fact, I am very confident that when all these people come in, there will be a lot of lessons they learn from all these anarchies. I am 100% confident of that. That's the kind of retail wisdom those people possess. So it is not very easy to destroy them. It just isn't easy at all. It's not going to happen. All said and done, today an Indian husband is the most spoiled one. Even at 8 o'clock in the night, all she can do is ring up the neighborhood store and bang, your Nestle or Nescafe coffee will come and land in your shop. One teenager will come in this thing and collect the money and go home. Or in many times, they will not even collect. It will be on a credit. So all these kinds of things cannot be dislodged. See, you take Trichy. Trichy, you have two stores. One a Chennai-based Ratna store, another is Mangal and Mangal, which is a Trichy-based store. They are in every single format. Nobody can shake them. They are in durables, they are in jewelry, they are in, vessels, they are in just about anything and everything. Huge. Unmanageable crowds every day. Tomorrow Walmart, and we have so many advantages. Within the city, just about every single retail square feet has been occupied by Indians. What will happen? From where will they get that retail space? It's not a joke. It's not going to be that simple. If everything was that simple, for every Thailand, you have got one Germany. You have got one South Korea.
Thank all the panelists for taking the time to share their thoughts with us. Thank all of you as well for being here and participating. Thank you. Good day. Yes, a small memento as well.
We'll all stand up on that one.
Yes. Please stand for the national anthem.